new lawsuit hasn't just reopened old wounds. It's torn open an entirely new dimension of Diddy's dark legacy. This time, the spotlight isn't just on him. It's following the shadows that surround him. Jay-Z's name, once untouchable, is now being pulled into the same storm. As 50 Cent continues his relentless campaign, more names are dragged into the crossfire. But this isn't about beef or bravado. This is about power, silence, and the price of proximity. Diddy's legal team is reportedly maneuvering to delay justice, possibly for years. Why? Because the accusations are multiplying. Not by tens, but by hundreds. And now, Cassie, the one who lived through it all, is ready to speak. Her testimony isn't just anticipated, it's feared. If what she reveals confirms what's whispered in the halls of power, then we're no longer talking about rumors. We're staring into the heart of something systemic.
I haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Oh, that's why. It's only business. It was really... Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my stuff.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. No, like, and not, when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, nah, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable. You don't hear him talking about French. French was right there.
Yeah.
Right? Why you get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm scared.
Well, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot.
No, they see this. You see this. They see this.
They see it.
Nah, you see this. They won't act like that. Oh, we got nothing to do with that. If we could just...
No.
Behind the smokescreen of luxury parties and glistening chains, 50 Cent has positioned himself as a threat, not to Diddy's ego, but to his empire. His mission isn't theatrical, it's surgical. Every statement cuts deeper. On a recent podcast, he casually mentions Meek Mill, not just by name, but by detail. Matching outfits, a private invite, an offer that hinted at something more than fashion. 50 turned it down, Meek didn't, and what seemed like a party suddenly feels like a test. Fame, influence, power, Diddy held the keys. But the price of entry, that's where the story turns. 50 suggests Meek took the bait, and if that's true, how many others did too? This isn't just industry politics, it's the anatomy of control. And in the world Diddy built, the question isn't who went along, it's who said no and lived to talk about it.
You got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is stop it, man. Set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on. Because it was like, he was like, yo, no, you hot now. Now we gotta hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, maybe I'll take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long time.
They said you're a hater. They
You're a hater. You do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
Jay-Z is no longer just a bystander in this unraveling. His silence speaks volumes, but the noise surrounding him is growing louder. His alliance with Diddy and Beyoncé isn't casual. It's embedded, both in business and in image. But now, that image is cracking. According to 50 and other insiders, Jay and Beyoncé are no longer icons of aspiration. They're symbols of a curated illusion. Rumors now suggest their marriage isn't love, but leverage. A partnership built for empire, not intimacy. And if that illusion breaks, the fall could be seismic. In Diddy's orbit, nothing is coincidence. Every friendship, every alliance, every photo op, all of it part of a deeper architecture. Jay-Z's continued appearance in this narrative isn't accidental, it's structural. And as this story unfolds, his name is less a feature and more a cornerstone. Because when the foundation is compromised, everything built on it starts to shake.
Y'all, yeah. And it's different than when it was 2016. You know, the game has been elevated. As we can tell, there's no expense being spared. We had a black billionaires lunch. Yeah. You understand? Right. And we here together, and we gonna keep staying together. We getting tighter. You know what I'm saying? And united we stand. And ain't nothing else to us. Black excellence.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
We're gonna let him say that.
Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
He ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time. He got them since he started drinking. His pictures with him thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, he's been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture.
Flashback to 2010. Diddy's parties weren't just celebrations. They were gateways. The faces in the crowd weren't random. They were handpicked, photographed, and cemented into history. Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, Usher, once friends, now ghosts. The silence from these names speaks as loudly as any accusation, but in 2018, the mask slipped. A man opened fire at Trump's golf course in Miami. His name, Jonathan Audi. His claim that he was Diddy's victim. Manipulated, controlled, broken. That wasn't a scandal. That was a siren, a glimpse into something darker, more calculated. While the world wrote it off as another bizarre footnote, those paying attention knew better. This wasn't isolated. It was connected. Audi's outburst didn't just come out of nowhere. It came from within a system that breaks people down until there's nothing left but pain and panic. And now the past is catching up fast.
Person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names, just like with Jeffrey.
A new civil suit is circling not just Diddy, but Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and LeBron James. Names that once symbolized greatness now appear in the same sentence as coercion and abuse. The allegation that in 2015, during one of Diddy's infamous gatherings, a man was drugged, violated, and stripped of his humanity. Not by accident, but by design. Joseph Manzaro claims he was trapped in something bigger than a party. He describes an operation, a machine that used power, drugs, and fear as tools of compliance. And if what he says is true, the lawsuit is just the beginning. The veil is lifting and more names may emerge. For years, whispers danced in the corners of luxury ballrooms. Now, those whispers are sworn statements. And the question is no longer who attended, but who participated, who knew, who stayed silent, and who helped keep the doors shut from the inside.
Going in. You better believe it. Shout out Def Jam. We the best. You know what it is. It's 2010, baby. It's the takeover. I'm going in.
Happy New Year to the whole planet. God is the greatest. Real talk. And you know, I mean, if there's anything that somebody can say better than that, I'm all ears. But with that being said, continuous blessing to the whole entire universe.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Khaled is a Hamas supporter. Okay?
Who supporter?
Hamas.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
No worries.
Hamas supporter, okay?
Right.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would masturbate and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot.
Hidden in plain sight.
It's hidden.
I think I see what you're saying.
Okay, how do I know this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. How do you know this?
Do you know Sean Combs?
The web extends far beyond rap. Diddy's reach, it seems, ran deep into Hollywood. Will Smith, Jennifer Lopez, once unshakable stars, now framed by the same question: what did they know? The timing of Will's recent statements is no coincidence. For years, he said nothing. Now, as the lawsuits pile up, he speaks. Is it guilt or strategy? J-Lo's presence at Diddy's parties was never a secret. It was celebrated, flirted with on late-night stages. But those parties, now recast in a sinister light, demand re-examination. And if Will is truly trying to pull away, it may already be too late. Proximity to Diddy is no longer harmless. It's radioactive, and while some retreat into silence, hoping the storm passes, others are being forced to reckon with where they stood. Because when the truth finally arrives, it doesn't knock. It breaks down the door.
Diddy Combs is facing new accusations of human trafficking as he awaits his federal trial. In a civil case filed in Florida April 1st, Joseph Manzaro alleges, according to court documents obtained by E! News, that he was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise facilitated by Combs and others back in 2015, and names celebs such as Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and LeBron James as witnesses in the lawsuit. In his filing, Manzaro says the alleged events took place in April 2015. He states that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline as he opened the front door to his home, after which he says he was transported to another residence, where an associate of Combs allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. Manzaro alleges in the suit he was secretly transferred to the music producer's home through a concealed tunnel allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Estefan's Miami property. He alleges that upon regaining partial consciousness, he found himself inside a large party area upon information and belief that it was a birthday party for Combs' then 17-year-old son Christian Combs. There, he was allegedly forced to appear in a penis mask. The lawsuit states, Jay-Z and Beyoncé Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyoncé Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a penis mask standing here in front of me?" Manzaro alleges in the lawsuit that he was then forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who were jeering and taunting him.
High-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyoncé Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs. He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyoncé and Gloria Estefan. possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena should this case progress, and we'll talk a little bit more about whether or not it will.
There's one name that hasn't flinched in this storm. 50 Cent. Not only is he talking, he's daring others to prove him wrong. He claims he's clean. No secrets, no skeletons, just receipts. According to him, everyone in Hollywood knew what Diddy's parties were. The whispers weren't subtle. They were loud enough to hear if you wanted to listen, but most chose not to. They saw fame, opportunity, status, and turned a blind eye. 50 didn't. He walked away. "I'm not freaky like that," he said, but his words cut deeper than humor. They challenged the core of the system. If he knew, they knew. And now, as lawsuits expose what went on behind those velvet ropes, silence isn't safety, it's evidence. 50's refusal to join the circus may be the only reason his hands are clean. Everyone else, they're still hoping no one looks too closely.
What we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I say, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that, man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but you know that one it was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome, and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
You really heard that?
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Then there's Leonardo DiCaprio, a name typically reserved for headlines about models and movies. Not misconduct, but now his past attendance at Diddy's parties is resurfacing, not as trivia, but as potential evidence. While Leo has long kept his private life shielded from public scrutiny, his presence in these gatherings, now considered suspect, raises questions. Was he just a guest, or something more? Hollywood runs on optics, appearances, alliances, but when those optics crack, what's underneath is rarely clean. Leonardo's connection to Diddy may seem distant, but in a case this vast, even distance isn't protection. The question isn't whether Leo is guilty, it's whether he was complicit in silence. And in this kind of storm, even whispers can become subpoenas.
You're not worried that if you throw little and you don't throw out allegations, but like you kind of poke fun at them.
You just ask questions.
You're not worried that it comes back your way. Like people dig up your past and try to pull stuff up.
I don't got shit in my past.
Everybody got a little bit.
Look,
like,
I took
I
took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the happened. What the is going on here, bro? Yes, I took the picture. I gave me the fucking drug to perform. So she can remember and possibly love me for that.
Did it work?
What the this is, yo, bro, look, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I'm doing pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm just saying, this is the opposite of normal shit that we're talking about, bro.
That is why. Well, I don't know why it's so hard for people.
So
just
for people to feel like you would have something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on the separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what is that?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip hop culture could think that everybody in hip hop culture is with that.
You have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s and Kiki D said they paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So like, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries. They went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way.
There's a storm brewing, and 50 Cent's documentary might be the lightning strike that makes it all explode. The same project, as Diddy himself acknowledged in December 2023, isn't just another tell-all. It's a map of the rot beneath the surface. According to 50, this isn't about internet drama or recycled gossip. It's about systems, how they're built, who controls them, and what happens when they go unchecked for too long. Every episode promises to peel back another layer, revealing not just the crimes, but the mechanics of how they were allowed. And it's not just Diddy in the crosshairs, it's everyone who stood beside him, who knew, who stayed quiet. If even half of what's rumored is true, this docuseries could become the most damning piece of media the industry has seen in years. Because when the system finally speaks for itself, it's hard to unhear the truth.
It's probably not public information yet, but who's the person that's number one on that invitation list?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And I can get on that list,
yes,
right?
Without a doubt, you are invited.
That is so generous of you. Cheers to that.
The connections run deeper than anyone imagined. Collaborations, guest features, VIP lists. All of it weaves a network of names that now feel tainted. Former insiders hint at secrets, not isolated incidents, but patterns. And 50 Cent is pushing those patterns into the light. His crusade isn't about feuds. It's about exposing a culture where silence was currency and complicity was survival. These weren't casual attendees, they were regulars, part of a ritual, a rhythm, and now they're scrambling. Some erase old photos, others issue vague statements. But it may be too late, because the narrative isn't controlled anymore. The past is now a weapon, and every party, every post, every selfie might be evidence. What once felt like fame now looks like fallout. And in Diddy's shadow, everyone must ask, were you just there, or were you part of it?
Netflix docuseries that you've been working on. Diddy do it?
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle. You weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way he would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it. Just that alone.
So you didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations it's kind of interesting. I think that civil suit turned into a look. They looked at it like maybe it's a criminal situation.
Right.
A little early, and it could have been the same lobbyists and the same people that use their connections to make that happen for Puff.
Is that kind of why you was going hard on him the last couple years? Is it because of the liquor situation? Because to be honest, since the situation he's in now, it's kind of like you fell back on him. Was this all over the liquor, or you just said?
Well, most of that was motivation. That was competing,
right?
For with brands, and he was ahead of me,
right?
Because he had been working on Ciroc and stuff like that, and then integrating it into our culture with Coco Loso and different things with different people, connected to it. So, yeah, that's what that was. But when you look at, he would do a lot of foul shit. Like behind the scenes, he would do some foul.
A single lawsuit was never going to be the end. Now, amended civil complaints are pulling more names into the abyss. Associates once considered background noise are now central figures. The case has widened legally, emotionally, and symbolically. It's no longer about one man or one night. It's a web, tangled, sticky, and growing. Some sources suggest this is only the beginning. Others say the worst has yet to surface. Either way, the legal momentum is shifting, and in that momentum, truths long buried are being forced to rise. The courtroom is becoming a confessional, but not everyone's ready to speak. As the filings expand and testimonies stack, the industry holds its breath, because once the system starts naming names, it rarely stops with just a few.
And that's what it up at. You can tell me Puff going away for a long time, bro, but do you not hear the of Meek Mill? Do you not hear all of the shake it off, take that of Will Smith? Can you not give me the oh God of TD Jakes? I just don't want to be in the room where niggas be actually doing this, man, because that's crazy for a real Crip to pull up and be like, yo, my nigga, like, check this out. Like, I really heard Carl Winslow in there. Like, yo, I was like, yo, getting slapped like that. Slap. Who was he banging this out like a next thing you know, he walk in there and it's actually my mother.
Is Diddy a dangerous man?
Nah, you missed the fact that was my mom. Like, that was Jaguar Wright getting it's Carl Winslow, you know.
I get it. So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place.
Even unexpected names have surfaced. Comedian Drewski, known more for punchlines than headlines, has been forced to deny allegations that connect him to the storm. In a public post, he claimed innocence. No industry ties in 2018, no fame, just a man living with his mom, far from the world being exposed. His tone was serious, firm. He said his heart is with real victims, but he refuses to wear guilt he didn't earn. For now, the court of public opinion is split. Some accept his defense, others raise eyebrows, because once your name is mentioned, it lingers. True or not, the association can stain, and in a world hungry for answers, even denials become part of the story. Whether Drewski walks away clean or pulled deeper in depends on evidence, but one thing's clear: no one is safe from the fallout.
Yeah, were you at any of the Diddy parties, or did you miss that?
What the? Where did that come from? How did that? Of all questions,
did you miss that train?
How did that go?
That train might have left the
that
station,
train took
but
off
you
from
were
the
right
station.
there.
Yeah,
you were right there to get on that.
That train took off from the station for sure.
You were close.
Yeah. I wasn't at that train station.
You left early? You left early?
No, that was down the street from me. I wasn't there. No.
Did you ever meet Diddy?
Yo, what the
Bro, yo, I forgot you
He's
actually
like,
might have.
I've seen pictures with you there.
50 Cent isn't just a rapper anymore. He's a reckoning. His next release isn't music, it's Did He Do It? A docu-series designed to rip the curtain off the industry. Set to drop soon, this isn't art, it's ammunition. Every episode could detonate careers, expose hidden alliances, and reveal truths that have lived in whispers for decades. This is not just gossip, it's a warning, a message to everyone who thought their past was buried. If 50 delivers on his promise, the industry might not recover. What we're witnessing isn't just scandal, it's structural collapse. Stay alert, because when the first episode drops, the rest won't be far behind. This story isn't finished, it's just waking up.
Here's a little bit more about what we know of Dr. Dawn Hughes. So it's in an exhibit that was filed in this case, and it's called Disclosure as to Expert Witness Dawn M. Hughes, PhD, ABPP. Dr. Hughes is a clinical psychologist and a board-certified forensic psychologist, and a leading expert on sexual abuse, interpersonal violence, victimization, and traumatic stress. The following includes the anticipated opinions the government expects Dr. Hughes will offer regarding sexual abuse and victim responses to sexual abuse, coercive control, coping strategies during and in relation to sexual abuse, delayed disclosure, and memory of sexual abuse. Quote, the government expects that Dr. Hughes will testify about coercive control as a tactic of victimization, i.e. the state to process of becoming a victim, and a strategy to gain dominance across a spectrum of relationships. Coercive control often includes a variety of physical, sexual, and/or emotional tactics that together function